Hello and welcome, I'm the Tan Man, and this is How to Chaos Dwarves in the beginning of the end times 1.5 beta. Now the reason I'm doing them all, these how-tos in the 1.5 beta, basically I'm pretty sure this is the end goal of what we're getting. Probably a few balancing issues here and there, a few bugs, but basically I don't think there are going to be any more major changes to the game that will affect uh, how to, well, affect the factions too much. So that's why I'm doing it now instead of waiting for the actual release. If there are a lot of changes, then oops. But I highly doubt. I highly doubt that. So here we are as the Chaos Dwarves. Now, first thing you want to do is consolidate all of your armies. You have 3 forces. Each of them are very, very small forces. So that's never really great. But it's enough to start off and take some rebel settlements. Now, when you build, well, actually first, we should take a look at financials. You don't make a whole lot of stuff. You really don't. So what you want to do is you want to build land clearances. You want to build, well, just build land clearances, essentially. Build what you can, build economic buildings, and as soon as you can, start building some dwarf mines. You also want to, as soon as possible, get a diplomat, because you don't start off with any agents, so you want diplomats. You want some merchants, so you want to build some marketplaces to be able to get merchants as well, which you can get a merchant up in Uzkulak, but yeah, so you want diplomats and you want merchants, and you want economic goodies. So right off the bat, there are 2 separate ways you can start off your campaign. Actually, I should say 3. One is obviously take the rebel settlements of Seepgore, maybe Silver Pinnacle, and obviously you want the Gates of Zar. And usually the ogres get all this before you can get down. But if you can, try to take as many rebel settlements as you can. Although I do suggest not taking the Tower of Gorgoth, because the ogres are right there, and they may declare war on you if you get too close. So I suggest going down, stopping at Gates of Zar. So take Gates of Zar, take Seepgore, definitely. Maybe take Silver Pinnacle. It depends. Silver Pinnacle and Tower of Gorgoth are very sketchy and risky. So you may take one, you may take both, but I suggest being very careful. Also, I think you're allied with, no, you're not allied with Chaos. So you may not want to go up anywhere, just stay down here. Although you could obviously go in, take Urslo, try to go up and around to take Kislev. That's one of the options. A second option is going against the Night Goblins. So just get rid of the Night Goblins. Alright. If you take the Night Goblins, obviously you're going to be taking Silver Pinnacle, but you're going to be wanting to, whether you take on the Night Goblins or the Ogres, because that's another option, going against the Ogres. Create an alliance with the other faction. So if you fight the Night Goblins, first try to create an alliance with the Ogres. If you go to fight the Ogres, try to create an alliance with the Night Goblins. Okay? Because you don't want to have to deal with the Night Goblins and then all of a sudden deal with the Ogres as well, or vice versa. So I suggest alliancing with one or the other right off the bat. So it's always a good idea to be careful about that. So yeah, when I played, I went against the Night Goblins, and I had taken out all of the Night Goblin territories except for 8 Peaks, obviously, because 8 Peaks is all the way down here, and obviously Cragmire I didn't take either, but I took all the other ones. Unfortunately, I had taken Red Eye Mountain, And because at that point ogres had attacked me from the south, all of a sudden Kislev came in to attack Red Eye Mountain. So you don't want to have to worry about west, south, maybe even north if chaos decides to come at you. So that's why you need the diplomat as fast as possible, as well as lots of economic buildings to be able to, if you have to, fight a multi-front war. Although that's never a good idea. So now that you, as soon as Kurak, the Unbreakable, actually what you could do is you could either leave Kurak down here to go take Gates of Zar. Obviously you'd have to supply him with a whole lot of troops. You can go take Gates of Zar relatively quickly. Just grab these guys and throw them down.
Of course.
Leaving, Hobgoblin or so, because your capitals will be very safe at the beginning of the game. They will be very safe, and plus you could just buy some. You could just recruit some goblins, just to watch. So you want to take some guys down from oops. You want to take some guys down from Uzkalak to go take Seepgor as fast as possible. Now Seepgor, they're Skaven. So you're gonna want to be careful, because Storm Vermin they chew through your men. Now you start off with quite a few death rockets. You start off with one. I think you start off with 3. Yeah, you start off with 3 death rockets. These are going to be so important to your armies. They are one of the most important things about your armies. You're going to want to care for them and just make sure they're safe. Because when you're besieging cities, especially you're just surrounded by castles, everything is like a castle. Especially down here and stuff, they're just all castles and fortresses. So having death rockets is going to help so much, because when the enemy is on the walls, the death rockets destroy the walls very, very fast. So, say you decide to go against the ogres, you've created an alliance with the Night Goblins, you go down, you're taking on the ogres. Against the ogres, you're going to want less artillery, and more hobgoblins, and more hobgoblin riders. Now, normally your hobgoblin wolf riders are going to be quite crappy. In all honesty, they're going to be quite crappy. But hobgoblin wolf, well, actually, really, they're crappy against other cavalry. But they're actually really good against both Night Goblins and ogres. So when you're fighting the ogres, you'll want to have just this huge army of hobgoblins to hold the line, with some chaos dwarves and infernal guard right behind them to further hold the line and make sure that the hobgoblins don't break instantly. And then you're going to want to send your wolf riders to go around and hit the ogres from the back, also taking out the Noblars and any other green skin ally that the ogres may have in their army. So hobgoblin wolf riders are going to be super important. Also at the Gates of Zar, you can get something called, at the Gates of Zar you can get the Ogla Khan wolf boars, which are going to be incredibly important because they have a really large, they have a higher charge bonus because they also have spears. So when they charge in, they don't just have the axe out; they have an actual spear to lance, which will help, especially against ogres, because since ogres are really powerful, if you keep on charging them in the back, even with wolf riders, they're gonna start dropping models, and every single model that you drop of the ogres is a model closer to victory. And ogres can be relatively easy to break, so there's also that. Because if you break them, then that's always a great thing. So yes, that's some tips against the ogres. Against the Night Goblins, you definitely want Again, hobgoblins, they can go well against night goblins, but you're gonna want your death rockets. You're gonna want your blunderbusses, because they're gonna be very important. You're gonna want your hobgoblin archers. Against ogres, hobgoblin archers aren't gonna do that well, but against night goblins, they're actually gonna get quite a few kills. Again, have your wolf riders, very important to your armies. Black orcs. So yes, death rockets, blunderbusses, very important against the night goblins. You're not going to want as many hobgoblin units against the night goblins, because when you actually take a city, say that the city is full, well, something that the night goblins have, they have a large amount of squigs, which absolutely destroy hobgoblins, absolutely destroy goblins. They tear through them like butter, even just a squig herd. And they have giants. They have a lot of giants. They have quite a few trolls as well. And you're going to want to take out those giants as fast as possible. They're going to do a lot of damage to your hobgoblin units. They're even going to do a lot of damage to your chaos dwarf units. So you want to focus them down, try to hold them down with numbers, and then just pick away at them as fast as possible, usually with your more elite units like the Infernal Guard and Chaos Dwarfs. I suggest using your Infernal Guard backed up by Chaos Dwarfs, because the Infernal Guard, well, at least your generals, they'll probably lose a lot of your unit, but as long as the general doesn't die, you're going to get most of your unit back, because after a few turns, the unit will go back up to maybe not full max unit, but quite close to that. So that's what you want to do against the night goblins. Just, they have numbers and they have squigs and giants, which are never fun. And then obviously you got just dwarves, but basically alliance with night goblins to fight the ogres, or alliance with the ogres to fight the night goblins. Now I suggest alliancing with the ogres, because with the ogres, the ogres are still not stable. Fighting the ogres will bring crashes. It's happened to me quite a few times. Again, it's still a beta, so hopefully in the final release of the 1.5, there will be a fix, and ogres won't cause crashes. So I suggest alliancing with the ogres, just so that you don't have to deal with them, deal with the crashes and whatnot. So night goblins, and then you can go into Kislev. You go into Kislev. Chaos is going to be there, so you'll want to alliance with with Chaos as well. You'll go into the Empire. I suggest also alliancing with the orcs if you can. Although the ogres will probably be fighting the orcs sooner or later, or they'll be going against the Tomb Kings. I don't know. So you just want to be careful. But I do suggest just going against the Night Goblins. And also be careful, because when fighting certain Night Goblin cities, there will be a garrison spawning inside the city. So you'll want a good, a large army. And a lot of giants will even spawn with the garrison, so you want to be careful with that as well. So that was the campaign. Now I'll give you some tips on the battlefield. Now, this is the basic sort of army that you're going to want. A good amount of Chaos Dwarves. Not too many, though. With maybe your blunderbuss, or maybe either a blunderbuss, a crossbowman, a couple of crossbowmen, Infernal Guard. Which, Infernal Guard, they're very good against ogres and giants, because they're guns instead of crossbows or bows. You'll also want a Death Rocket and an Earthshaker Cannon, one of each, or two of one, or whatever. You'll want to just probably keep it at 2 or 3 artillery per army. You'll want to have a lot of hobgoblins, a lot of orcs, hobgoblin archers, maybe 1 or even 2 units of Hobgoblin Wolf Boys. Now, you'll normally be fighting, well, if you fight Night Goblins, even most Rebels, mostly going to be Night Goblins sort of thing, at least early game. So this is basically what they usually have: giant squigs and just a whole lot of goblins. So I will see you in the battlefield and just show you how to besiege a Night Goblin keep. See you then. So here you have the Night Goblin keep. Usually it's bigger than this. It's usually one of those giant keeps that are quite annoying to defeat, but here we are. So you'll not want any of your Chaos Dwarves to go up, to go up and fight. You'll want to keep them back and send up your Hobgoblins first. But what you'll first want to do is, as long as there are enemies, him here, use the Death Rocket to destroy any walls that you can. Okay. Obviously, these guys will also still be quite important, possibly important. I'm not entirely sure. You may not even need any siege towers, just artillery. But it's always nice to have them, just in case. Have your wolf boys right to the side. You'll want to send up your hobgoblin archers, just in case, to stop the cannons, the towers, from firing on your artillery. You'll have your Chaos Dwarf line right in back, and your blunderbuss keeping the back. They will be very important for when you're inside of the city. So you start battle, enemies, they're on the walls, and you want to destroy the walls. Destroy them as fast as possible. Now, Earthshaker Cannon, I don't think it actually does much against walls itself, but I know that they do lots of damage anyways to infantry. We want these guys to get a little closer. Let's see what this does. So this actually does barely any damage to a tower. Fire at the gatehouse. However, the Death Rocket does absolute carnage to the walls. If you have a couple units of Death Rockets, you could just quickly take out all the towers, quickly take out the gatehouse, even the reinforced gates. However, it's up to the Death Rocket if they want to actually hit the wall or not.
Your slaves buy you service.
Fire. Fire once. Fire twice. Maybe fire 3 times. So you'll always want to take out the enemy. Oh, okay, so it actually does quite a bit of damage to the walls and stuff. Yep, you'll just take out walls near immediately. However, unfortunately with this game, when things fall down, it tends to slow the game down just a bit. Okay, so it seems that the Death Rocket, the Earthshaker Cannon actually does a lot of damage to gates and fortresses, so that's always great. That's always actually fantastic to see. You'll also want to take out towers, and that wall's down as well. At least it's gonna be. Yep, it's already down. Kill so many. Take out the towers. Take out the towers together. And basically, this is how you want to siege a Night Goblin city, or any city really. Take out as many of their forces as you can with just cannons and artillery, and then you can go in and actually face the enemy. But you'll want to do it the cheap way first, which is why, for me, battles take so long, because, well, I don't play fair when it comes to this. I like taking out as many enemies before they decide to kill me. Obviously, your hobgoblin archers, they're not going to do much. They may get a kill here or there, but they're just there to make sure the towers don't hit your artillery. So they can die as many times. It just doesn't matter. Death rockets continue to take out the towers. You just want to take these towers out as fast as possible. Brilliant. Take out that wall. It's just beautiful to see sometimes, man. So you've absolutely destroyed the enemy. You've absolutely destroyed the enemy's walls. So you can start actually moving your force up. You won't need the siege towers anymore, because, well, everything's dead. Why would you need siege towers for a wall that's no longer there? So yeah. Oh, did you see that, man? It looks like the Earthshaker effect doesn't actually do anything, which is fine. I want you to start firing at that. I want you to start firing at that. Actually, start firing at that wall. Take that wall down as well. So by now, most of the towers will not be in effect at all. The enemy forces will be scattered all over. They won't know what to do. All the walls have been taken down, so that means you could start, once the final wall goes down and the final few towers right at the front. It's nice. It's always nice to see. Taking down these walls, and that wall's down. Very nice. So you won't want to spend too much of your time doing this. You'll want to start setting up your men. Setting them up. Lots of lag when it comes to walls falling down, fortunately, but ah well. Keep your hobgoblins safe. Your hobgoblin riders safe. They can be very important. This wall goes down. Just a second. One more shot from the not the Earthshaker, from the death rocket right here. Ooh, it actually hit the goblins back there, I think. Fortunately, we missed it. Oh, that was nice. Very good. Very, very good. They're all getting close to it for some reason. And they're gonna start coming on out. So you don't have to do anything. They've actually decided to start coming on out, so that's actually really nice. So then you just charge on in. Get your orcs and hobgoblins in there. Try to get your Earthshaker Cannon to fire on whatever is right there. Ooh, this could be glorious, and that was actually horrible, because it just killed a lot of my own hobgoblins. That wasn't so great right there. Let's just be honest here. Both of you guys can actually stop. Actually, it actually did really well, so... Why is this happening? What? Get up there. You can bring your blunderbuss in now. They can actually do some damage as well. Fortunately, a lot of your... Well, unfortunately, the Night Goblins here seem to have a lot of archers, which are actually doing quite a bit of damage as well. Which is not something I like to see. So let's send in my Chaos Dwarves to do some damage. Let's bring you over here. then we're gonna do something fun. Fun-zoned. Hobgoblin archers, they're not that useful as of right now. Your cannons aren't that useful as of right now. You can obviously just shoot your own dudes if you really don't care about your own dudes. Obviously something that you totally can do. There's no right or wrong with that. Go ahead, but you're but because most of your army does consist of hobgoblins, you're probably gonna have a bad time. Just saying. I'm gonna have my Chaos Dwarves try to quickly go take out the trolls, which will be a danger. Got a few shots onto those Night Goblins spears. I don't know where all my cannon fire went. Something great with the Earthshaker Cannon is that if you hit cavalry, that cavalry's gone. Although, unfortunately, everyone here just started retreating, which ain't so great. Yeah, no, that's not good at all, man. Bring you over here. Bring you right here to get some shots in. You're gonna send my Oglakan Wolf Boys. Uh-oh, all these guys are routing now, which is never good. Go take out those archers and whatnot. Alright, you guys stop firing, because you're killing us. You're killing me, Smalls. Should get over here. Fire at those Night Goblins. Go in. Try to take out the enemy. Come on, y'all are back, which is very nice to see. Now, there's a possibility I may die, which it's a very large possibility, as I ain't that great at this. I'm not that great at this game. I like this game, but I'm not a master at it. I said stop firing. What do you guys not understand about stop firing? Is it just something that you guys have a problem with? Kill these giants.
Be praised.
Get in there. I'm gonna try to get my blunderbusses in a nice position to fire right into the back of the enemy. All these guys will try to take out the giants. Again, the giants, they're incredibly annoying to try to take down. They keep on moving, they have a lot of health, they have a lot of defense, and if you're fighting them with hobgoblins, as I said, you're most likely not going to have that great of a time. And fighting against trolls as well. Oh, those trolls have decided to stop fighting us, which is very good. Looks like sound's gone. Mute sound. Let's take out these stone trolls. Let's leave those trolls to go retreat now. These guys are taking out these Night Goblins.
The prophets of Great Hashut foretell that victory will be ours today.
Come on, stop. Uh-oh. The giants are back. No. No, not good. Not good at all. Fire. Fire once. Come on, get at least one shot. And nope. Badness is happening. Badness is going to happen right now. Ooh, we got a shot. Routed the dudes right here. It's very nice. Get those trolls. Run back. Oh, one giant has gone down, which is always nice to see. Bring a couple shots in right here. I don't care who dies. Just kill them all. And yeah, so this is basically the kind of battles you're going to be fighting. Just grinded out melee fests with much better artillery than the enemy has. But yeah, it's going to be a grinded out melee fest, unfortunately, for a lot of these things. You're gonna lose a lot of guys, but that's part of it, ain't it? Come on, hit these guys. Got these Night Goblins. Now, Wolf Boys are actually really good against Night Goblins, even Night Goblin spears. You're just gonna grind right through them. It's gonna be great. Now, if we can get a good shot in right here. Hit this giant. I say, hit this giant, man. My good sir. These guys are trying to survive, but they ain't going to. Run them through to the Night Goblin spears. Come on. Uh-oh. Some squigs, they're gonna tear through us. Squigs are terrifying. Sorry. You could send these guys over here. So I think that is where I'll probably end it here. If I lose, I'm probably gonna lose in all honesty. They just have a lot of guys. And however, I may win because all these guys have just routed, which is fantastic. It means these guys could just run through. So yeah, that's how to Chaos Dwarves. Send in, have your hordes of greenskins go in, die, fire at them with your artillery. Back them up with good Chaos Dwarf units that will be torn apart by trolls and giants because Infernal Guard have been nerfed. Unfortunately, I'm still a little bit sad about that, but well, it happened. So I hope you have enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.